My family was my mum and dad were pretty unmusical. My mum was in the choir at the local church choir when she was growing up, but that was about the extent of it. There's no real music in the house either. It was just, I think I learnt most of what I know about music from my friends rather than in the house. You know, my first album may well have been Michael Jackson Thriller, and a belter, if you will, and it just kind of went from there. Me discovering music for myself or through friends. You know, mum and dad weren't. His dad was musical.
Yeah, he played the bass, and there was always a bass lying around my house, and drums and various other instruments. He played in bands, you know, singer and all that. My mum piano and my brother piano. Everyone played it, you know. On the first day we were there, both went to Dundee. We'd never met each other before, and we just started. It was the second day of Freshers Week. We got together in my room, and just him playing the bass and me playing the guitar, and you know, I'd really love a recording of it to laugh at it, but I wouldn't want anybody else to have a recording of it because it could have been pretty shocking. We released our first single under the name Polar Bear with Stowe College. Do you know Electric Honey record label? They're based at Stowe College. They did Bouncy and Tiger Milk, and who was it the year after?
Biffy Clyro.
Yeah.
I think Areogram were involved, and Odeon Beat Club. There was, I mean, really, really good bands that have been involved in that. It's sort of the project for the year for that course, and we released Polar Bear with Richard Coburn from Bell and Sebastian playing the drums on that record because we didn't have a drummer at the time, and Richard very kindly stepped in, being the nicest man in rock. Not too long after that release, actually, we had to change the name because somebody else had the name Polar Bear. And it was only by accident that we got the name Snow Patrol. It's just a friend of mine getting it wrong, calling us Snow Patrol when we were called Polar Bear, and I just went, what? And then we had to change it, so. And we had our demo done by February, our first demo. It was rubbish, like 6 songs, total rubbish. It was really bad.
But
really bad.
Yeah, that sort of circulated for a couple of months, and we got signed really quickly after that, like at the end of first year. But it was just as a sort of development deal, you know. They knew we weren't anywhere near. I think he liked Gary's voice and some of the ideas in the songs, you know.
He liked me.
And yeah, that was it for about 3 years, and then it turned into a record deal. I think it borrows a lot from what we were listening to at the time. We were only really listening to one type of music, really, sort of rock music, mostly American bands, and it's very much informed by that type of rock music. I think over the years and over the albums we've made, we're listening to. We met a lot of people that have influenced us, and especially Tom, who joined the band, plays keyboards, but he used to be a house and hip hop DJ. So over the years we listened to lots and lots of different music, funk and soul and hip hop and house music. So not that we ever go down particularly that path, but it just tends to broaden the sound a little bit. But at the time it was quite insular. We were only listening to Sonic Youth and Nirvana and Dinosaur Jr., things like that. So it is quite a scuzzy, kind of jaggedy sound. I think at the time we were arrogant, and we were much more arrogant and egotistical then than we ever are now these days. I mean, I think we thought we would rule the world. Like every band that releases an album thinks suddenly that they're going to be on top of the pops or something, you know. And that would, you know, over the last sort of 7 years, that was beaten out of us, you know. But at the time, I think we were, you know, we were sure this was going to happen. And it got some good reviews, and the more good reviews it got, the more, you know, we sort of thought, well, this will sell loads. We were disappointed that the records weren't in the shops, I think. Yeah.
Because I mean, at least people then have the option to go and buy it. But you know, there was people phoning me up from Belfast and from Dublin saying, friends of ours saying they can't get it, and that was the problem, you know. And it was. I think it took, especially in Ireland, I think it took people a wee while to sort of forgive us for that, because I mean, they're as far as they're concerned, it's our fault. They only know the name Snow Patrol. They don't realise that it's, you know, down to distribution and down to the record company not getting the records in the shops. But they just thought we were ignoring the place, you know. And you know, that would hurt more than anything, you know, the fact that, because we were totally gutted. It was a period of intense frustration for us. It's the way it is with the small indie labels, you know. It's all about cash flow, and Bell and Sebastian were also on that label and obviously selling a lot more records, and they were taking up all the cash flow. And even though we'd finished our record, we couldn't get it out. We were just literally sitting on our hands, couldn't get any more money out of our deals, you know. We were just sort of frozen for 3 years.
And that's when the Reindeer, you know, Gary just one day the springs went in his head, and he went, right, I'm starting another band because this is driving me nuts.
It wasn't ever a case of finishing Snow Patrol. It was just I needed something to do. Frustrated that we weren't sort of that nothing was happening on the Snow Patrol front. So I really wanted to release some albums, and we couldn't do that at Snow Patrol because we were all tied up in Jeepster. So I asked Jeepster if I could start another band. Well, initially I asked a load of people in Glasgow, guys from Mogwai and Arpstrap and Ben Sebastian and Astrid, if they'd like to do an album together. And I said, what's it called? And I just made up the Reindeer section on the spot. There's no story behind that, unfortunately. And then I went to Jeepster to say if I could do this on my own, and they said aye. I don't think they really cared. I got in touch with Bright Star. Johnny Davis, an old sort of friend of ours, had started a label, and sent him the tapes. And whether he liked the tapes or not, he certainly liked the idea of having a whole lot of sort of Glasgow indie stars on